which formats or delivery methods do you think would be most effective for this kind of training?
Definitely a hybrid approach, where the beginning, the intensive, in person, I think would be most influential.
Mhm.
Um, and then that way you have those that are already there in the room, and we can just get to our play. We'll just start playing like immediately
Mhm.
and start creating at that time. So that would be the format. It's engaging, so it's gonna be some movement that's involved there. Just trying to keep it light at the same time, and then from you kind of end it with, all right, so here are some things that this is what we're gonna experiment with. This is how we're gonna start this experiment, and give that time for those things to be implemented. Um, and then you can come back together in person, or it could even just be virtually to see what's going on. Sometimes I feel like it might take also, let's say, if you're starting to see a pattern from the reports of implementation, if you're starting to see certain patterns, then it might be worth, going in live to see what's going on, to speak to those that those changes are affecting, to get their perspective, possibly even facilitating a play shop around that, as well. So I feel like definitely on the beginning side, it's going to be a lot more hands on, a lot more intensive. Ideally, then they can become more spaced out, and then you can rely definitely more on the virtual side of being able to have those conversations and to conduct any types of other. Like I said, if we have to create a new play shop around a theme that we're seeing, then that's what we do.
Right. Yeah, just be adaptive, which is, the way nature tends to work.
Yep.
It adapts to the environment, and if it does not, it dies out, and those that did adapt or were able to adapt thrive. Just a sort of random aside, I was going to say it earlier, but I didn't really get the right time to do it. It is indeed Parkinson's law. You are
Oh,
100% correct. So respect. I think people should get credit where credit is due. When it comes to investing in leadership and culture development, what criteria do you consider when determining the value of training?
okay. Say that one more time.
Yeah, it's too long. I'm still working on it. So let me put it this way. When it comes to investing in leadership and culture development,
Mm-hmm.
what would you use to determine the value of the training?
What would I use to determine the value of the training? Hmm. Oh, oh, okay. So I would think about, let's say, the mission and the vision of the company itself. How much does that really apply to the people that are operating it? Um, I would also look at if there's any information as far as any complaints. I look at retention rates or rates of those that are leaving. I would be looking at your health costs.
Mm-hmm.
So, like health insurance, like premiums, is it that they're citing that, oh, this was used more and this wasn't, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would take a look at um, call outs as well,
What do you
tardiness.
mean by, oh, okay. What do you mean by call outs other than
Oh,
tardiness?
just yeah, like they're actually just calling out of work um for whatever reasons.
Oh, okay. So somebody saying I'm sick today or I can't do this today.
Hmm.
So, okay. Call outs is people sort of self-excusing from work and giving the
Yeah.
reason why they're doing it. Okay.
Yeah. Um I would also take a look at project times. If there were projects that it seemed like it would, like the discrepancy between this is what we were expecting and this is what actually happened. Because from there, sometimes I think that you can see where is it that quite possibly one way was being pushed, which might have limited the creativity of another way of it happening, and it could have been done on time or even earlier. There is also, oh, sorry, this is kind of hanging out there too, of just like things dragging, things dragging along.
So I'm going to try to put a word in your mouth, and this is one of the authors I mentioned, the name of one of his upcoming books. I don't think this is necessarily what he means, but it's just the right word: friction. Resistance.
I think of procrastination.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Resistance, actually, I think it's a part of procrastination. So I could see that happening. Like, I actually think procrastination is a sign that quite possibly someone is not, they're not able to do something in a way that, or they might feel like or think that they can't do something in a way that they might want to do it. So, yeah, I think that comes down to the psychological safety part of it, or that they're hesitating. Yes. Because more than likely they may not have the safe space to communicate as to why they think or feel this. And so, yeah, I think that's a big one. And even for myself, if I'm procrastinating on something, it's like there's some part of this that's